back! Glasses. Sorry it took so long. It's a new setup though, so yeah. Let's get right into the review. Croc, The Legend of the Gobos, or Croc as it's known to some people, was released in 1997 by Fox Interactive, but it was developed by Argonaut Studios? Something like that. It was released on the PlayStation, the PC, and the Sega Saturn. I've been playing the PlayStation version. It's yet another one of those 90s platformers. Those 3D platformers like Banjo-Kazooie, but not quite Banjo-Kazooie, as you'll find out throughout the review. I love this genre a lot. If this genre was a lady, it'd be a sexy lady. Let's start off with the graphics. We all know that PlayStation wasn't the powerhouse of visuals in this generation of consoles. Yet this game's colours were bright, descriptive, and well made. The grassy areas were vibrant and happy, whereas the dark, cavernous areas were atmospherically illuminated. It was a pleasure to look at the game. The animations were well constructed and very cartoon-esque. The graphics were fantastic. But the graphics aren't everything in a game, people. That's why I've decided to get that category over with. The story is next, I think. Yep. Basically, you are Croc. A giant crocodile. You're the king of reptiles. You're ferocious and mean. Not really. You're just Croc. You're just a friendly little crocodile that's been raised by people called gobos. Well, not people, they're just furry little things. And you were found by the king of the gobos and you were raised by these people. So the story is, this guy named Baron Dante, I don't really know what he is, he comes to your village or whatever, and he steals the king and takes him away to a tower. So as Croc, you're in the middle of a death roll with a goat, and you're like, oh, I gotta save all my people, and so you have to be shrunken down to save all the people, all the gobos. That's the story. But the most important part of a video game is in fact the gameplay. Playing a video game consists of gameplay. Croc's gameplay is uncomplicated. You're thrown into a map screen and you started at World 1, Level 1. So it's basic, it throws you there. You have 4 islands to complete. The Forest Island, the Ice Island, the Desert Island, and the Tower Island. And you got a secret island to unlock called the Crystal Island. In each of those islands you got 6 stages, you got 2 boss battles, and 2 secret stages. In each stage you've got 5 coloured crystals to collect, which open up the last door, the secret door at the end, which contains the 6th gobbo. In each level you have 6 gobbos to collect. If you collect, are you writing this down? Good. If you collect all the gobbos in 3 stages in a row, you unlock a secret stage. If you complete all the stages and get all the gobbos, then you unlock your secret island called the Crystal Island, which I didn't do. As you progress through the game, each level gets trickier and trickier, bit by bit, which is normal, which is understandable, and would be okay if you had an analog stick to work with, which you don't, because it's on the PlayStation. Analog sticks. The big flaw I had with this is getting used to the controls. Using the cross pad, you're just using the up, down, left, right, but you have to be able to, this is a 3D platformer, so you have to jump diagonally sometimes, or diagonally. Basically that's the problem. You can't really jump diagonally without, you have to press up and right at the same time. Well, it's not very fluid, it's not very intuitive. And the Pickle pondered what he was going to say next. So the hard part is getting used to the controls at first, which is...
And he wondered if he'd ever get to the point.
They're very clunky. It was a plain headache getting used to the controls. It was a bit Resident Evil-y because you'd have to move forward and then turn and then move forward and then turn, move forward. So you have to stop every time you turn, which is crappy when you want to run somewhere. But once I got used to the controls, the gameplay seemed to open up a little bit more and it became fun. It became playable and fun. Once you get through first world and a half maybe, you'll find that the stages are getting a bit repetitive. It's like it took the 3D platformer genre literally. So it's basically platform, 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 platform. End of level. And it just gets harder and harder. It'd be a good pick up and play game. I played it for hours on end, and don't do that. Don't do that because it becomes boring quick. There wasn't really any incentive to unlock that secret island by collecting everything because every stage was repetitive. So it became boring, so there was no reason why I'd want to play an extra island because I felt like I played the whole game. Basically, that's just my opinion though. The boss fights are just the same as the stages, basically. They're repetitive. And they're very easy. The strategy for each boss fight is wait until the boss attacks and then they get tired and then you attack. Repeat 3 times, you kill the boss, including the final boss, which is very disappointing. But at least the boss stages, or the boss battles, had different music to the stages. So, yeah. The reason why I mentioned that is because remember in Spyro, I was complaining that you didn't know you were fighting a boss because they had the exact same music as the level. The thing is about the music is that it doesn't change. So it feels like, so once you get to the boss, it's the same music as the level anyway. So you don't like the So it was, yeah. Speaking of Spyro, remember when I mentioned that he had a sidekick, that dragonfly guy, that would collect the gems as you move past the gems? It'll go, oh, gem, gem, gem. Spyro, going over, and you gotta get straight onto the gem. You gotta get straight onto it. But if you've got Sparks with you, you're like, oh, here's Sparks. Here, I'll collect the gem for you. He gets the gem. I wish we had a sidekick in this game, because in this game, you collect gems, but you actually have to stop and line up Croc and then move towards the gem and get directly into the center of the gem. So you can't run, run and collect the gems all fluidly. You have to stop, line up, and get the gem. It's like landing a plane.
Good one, Delta Lima, descend up to 4,000 feet, speed 180 knots.
So 4,000 feet, speed 180 knots. 1 Delta Lima. Clear to land.
The health is represented by the gems that you collect. So it's like Sonic the Hedgehog. If you get hit, you lose some gems. If you don't have any more gems, you lose a life. You die. Extra life you can collect by picking up hearts scattered throughout the levels, as well as if you get 100 gems, you get an extra life. The other items in the levels include silver keys, which open up little cages which may contain a switch or a gobbo, or gold keys, which open up big gold doors, which is unnecessary for progression or throughout the level. Let's talk about the music. Da 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 da. Music is really good. Each world has its own tune, and each level is almost like a remix of that theme. And they're each catchy, and they're not annoying at all. So, I like the music. Sup, scores! Speaking about music and sound, at least Croc doesn't have that annoying 90s cool kid voice, you know, wow, I'm Croc! He doesn't have that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you! There's no one here. As far as the attacks go, Croc can use a tailspin, which is his basic attack. And this pound the ground thing, which you also use to open up boxes. He only had a couple of moves, but it was simplistic level design, so the game gave you enough to proceed. And that's basically it. He can also swim. There are swimming levels which added a little bit of variety to the gameplay, just a little bit, but they weren't enough. There was probably only a 2 or 3. So, you know, it wasn't enough to vary the gameplay enough. Enough. Ah. How many reviews have I done now? The enemies mainly are minions, like not minions, despicable me. They're Dante's minions, not Dante, Devil May Cry. Baron Dante's minions called Dantinis. See the yellow belly, it's a polka dot Dantini. Dantinis. Overall, Croc turned out more fun than it started out to be. At first I thought the controls were just gonna drag the game down completely, but once I got used to the controls, the game opened up and it became a little bit more fun, but it just wasn't enough incentive to unlock that secret island, because each stage was repetitive, so I felt like I played the whole game within the first level, or the first world. So I thought, basically, why bother? The level design was playable to fun, although the clunky controls were enough to inhibit a fluid 3D platforming experience. If you want to try out 3D platforming games, I suggest you try Banjo-Kazooie or even Spyro the Dragon. Don't rely on Croc to represent this fantastic genre. It was short and sorta sweet, like a lemon. I give this game 6 out of 10. Why? Because it's my channel. Subscribe! Oh, I don't learn!
Hi everyone, thanks very much for watching my video. Feel free to like, comment, and if you want to subscribe, just click the little icon below. If you want to watch the previous video in the series, click on that icon. Feel free to follow me on Twitter and Facebook by using the links in the description. Thanks again and take care of yourselves.